Good evening. Welcome to the Insider's Room. I'm back again, once again, with WRCAPE, and it's our last show for divisional breakdowns. We're going to break down the FC West tonight, and looking over these teams before the show, I think these are the four teams that the Big 12 should probably go after. I mean, it kind of fits in that conference, all offense, no defense. But we'll start out. We'll start out with Kansas. We'll go through these real quick here. Kansas City, obviously the favorite in this division once again. They're minus 290 at FanDuel, and they're sitting at 12.5 wins. The Chargers are next. They're sitting at plus 490 at 9.5 wins. Denver's plus 700 at 8.5 wins. And then the team of the desert, Las Vegas, plus 1,700 and 7.5 wins. So, yeah, we got, two-time Super Bowl contestants, Kansas City, in this division. Basically, I look at it's their division. But one thing that Super Bowl showed is that no matter how good Mahomes is, no matter how many weapons he has to get the ball to, he needs an offensive line to make that thing work. And they didn't have it in the Super Bowl. As you know, both tackles didn't play in that game, and both tackles got cut or sent on their way. It's an all-new offensive line coming in. Probably the best thing they did, they traded the number one draft pick for Orlando Brown. They drafted the guard out of, or not drafted, they signed the free agent guard Thorny out of New England. Their left side is pretty solid. They got a center from the Rams, and they drafted a center. And they got a couple of opt-outs back from last year to play on the right side. And Kyle Long, I know he's injured right now, but if Kyle Long can come back, I mean, that helps with their depth, maybe the death of other teams. and then I look at this team. The defense last year kind of hit by injuries and free agents from the Super Bowl winning team. Chris Jones and Frank Clark are probably the two biggest ones hit by injuries. They should come back. They should improve the defensive line. I think they've improved at linebacker. The secondary needs to step up a little bit. But, again, they just have to slow down teams enough for that offense to score enough points to win. So, yeah, I think this is – as long as this offensive line can gel together and give Mahomes protection, I don't see anybody in this conference beating them.
Yeah, I agree. Offensive line was their biggest upgrade need, and I think they did that. They signed Tooney. I love the Orlando Brown trade as well. I think they have depth at O-line as well. I don't know. Patrick Mahomes can get you a win at any time. I love Andy Reid as a coach. I think by having a better offensive line, Clyde Edwards-Helaire should benefit. So he should be a better runner. He had a 1,000-yard season last year, I think. Tyreek Hill, you have Travis Kelce, so they're great weapons, two of the best in the league. I think Hardman, Robinson, and Pringle need to step up. Defensively, they need a better pass rush. I think they have a deep tackle rotation. They drafted Nick Bolton in the second round as linebacker, so he should be decent. I like their pass coverage. Tyrann Mathieu, Dan Sorensen, they're decent secondary. These guys are always around the ball. And they have a decent special teams. They should at least be in the AFC Championship again. But I don't see why they can't contend for the Super Bowl.
What about the 12.5 wins?
Yeah, I think they go over that.
Okay.
I think they'll be the number one seed in the AFC again. Andy Reid usually doesn't lose more than 4 games a season.
Yeah, just interesting. I saw I think it was DraftKings had a crazy odds boost or something. Who'd get the most wins, Kansas City or Alabama this year?
I think I saw that.
Yeah, Kansas City was like minus 200 or something, or 220, and Alabama was plus 200 or something. So yeah, it'll be close either way. So yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. All right, let's move on to the next one. You got the LA Chargers. They're looking to project at 9.5 wins. What do you think about this Chargers team?
I'm not as high as a lot of people are on this team. They hired Brandon Staley as a head coach. I guess he should make the defense better. I think he's making the defensive play calls. You have Justin Herbert, who you'd assume is going to get better after a great season last season. Running the ball is Austin Eckler. He's been decent for the last few years. Other weapons, they have Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Tyrone Johnson. This is a team that always has offensive weapons, and I don't know, they can't get to the promised land. I think the O-line needs to be better. They had a Corey Lindsey, Matt Fielder, and Ode Abushi. So they should be better in that regard. They got Jared Cook. He's really only a pass-catching tight end. They don't really have any blocking tight ends on the rosters, which may be a problem. I think this defense is going to be pretty good. Joey Bosa's back. Derwin James, I mean, he's great. They drafted Asante Samuel Jr., which should upgrade the secondary. I think they have need some edge rushers. I like Linval Joseph. And their special teams is a problem year after year after year. I think they're right around that 9-10 win. I don't think they get into the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the MVP of this team last year was that doctor who put the shot in the Tyrod Taylor. and to give Herbert a chance to play. Yeah, Herbert did play well, last year as a rookie. You always hope he can, improves his second year. So you see a lot of times they regress a little bit, but yeah, I think he's got the weapons. He's got the weapons there to at least stay at the level he was last year, as you mentioned. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler as the back. Yeah, talking about the offensive line, they did draft the Rashawn Slater out of Northwestern in the first round, which should help. And yeah, that defense, when you got Bosa, you can always wreak havoc when he's not injured. And yeah, and you said that, as you said, they drafted Asante Samuel, which should help the secondary. Yeah, I agree with you. I think this 9.5 wins, it's going to be right around there. They could easily get 10. Yeah, and then it's going to be, is 10 wins good enough to make the playoffs with all the other teams in the AFC? And I guess only time will tell. But if you're looking at this division, they are by far and away I think far and away the second best team in this division.
Oh, yeah.
And if Mahomes goes down, well, there's their chance. But yeah, but I think they're a solid team. It's just, are they just good enough to get that little extra edge to make the playoffs? All right, we're moving on to what could be the last year for Vic Fangio in Denver. It looks like he thinks it might be his last year. They're going with Teddy Bridgewater as the quarterback. He's got some, Cortland Sutton's decent, Jerry Jeudy to throw the ball to. The Melvin Gordons are back. He went out. They brought Vic Fangio in there too. For his defensive mind. And last year the defense regressed. They let up 27, almost 28 points a game compared to 19.8 the year before. They only had 16 turnovers. They gave up 30 points in 4 straight games. Their defense just wasn't there. So, they went out, drafted Patrick Surtain, which should help because one of those guys Fangio's likes is, they cover corner. They drafted Javonte Williams out of North Carolina, good, decent running back, and then they spent 6 draft picks on defense. So he knows what he needs to do. He needs to at least add depth to that defense. And again, 8.5 wins. So yeah, I think they could be an 8-win team or a 9-win team, but not much more than that.
I agree. I think they upgraded their defense. I mean, this certainly isn't the defense they had when Von Miller was Super Bowl years. But I like that drafted Patrick Surtain. He should be an upgrade. Justin Simmons, Shelby Harris, Von Miller, Bradley Chubb, Kareem Jackson. They got a stacked defense. They added Ronald Darby and Kyle Fuller in their secondary, which should be an upgrade there. I think they have a good pass rush. Offensively, I like Teddy Bridgewater. He keeps you in games. He doesn't lose games. I think he's better than Drew Lock is. Sutton, Judy, and Hamler could be a pretty good wide receiver trio. It's good that they have him back. I like that they have an outlet at tight end with Noah Fant. I'm not a huge Melvin Gordon fan, but he's been talking like he's going to have a great season, so we'll see about that. I like Javonte Williams. I think he's hard to tackle. He likes to break tackles a lot. And I think their offensive line is going to be pretty good as well. So, yeah, I think they're going to be around where the Chargers are. 9, maybe push 10 wins. But, yeah, I think coaching is going to be the problem here once again.
Well, speaking of coaching, moving on to Vegas. I mean, Jesus, I wish I could get like a 10-year, $100 million job and then stuck at it for the first 2 or 3 years. I mean, it'd be nice. So yeah, we got Vegas here. What's your thought on this Vegas? They're just sitting at 7.5 wins plus 1,700. Obviously, Vegas doesn't have a lot of faith in them doing anything. But what are your thoughts?
I think they'll have a decent offense. I'm not the biggest Derek Carr fans, but his stats are, I guess, good enough. He was supposed to be gone when John Gruden came in. He's still here. They have some weapons. I like Darren Waller. He's a good catching tight end. Josh Jacobs and Kenyon Drake should be good on as running backs. Kenyon Drake can catch balls out of the backfield too. They added John Brown and Willie Snead. None of them really do much for me, but I guess it's an upgrade from the guys they had, Nelson Aguilar, last year. I think Ruggs needs to be better in his second year. I like Hunter Renfrow. He's reliable. He catches the ball. Their O-line, I don't expect them to be too good. I think their biggest problem here is defense. Last year, they allowed the third most points, third fewest turnovers, and the fourth fewest sacks. They couldn't hold leads at all. They were pretty bad. I think at the end of the season, they had 3 losses in the last 2 minutes, fighting for a playoff spot. They added Yannick Ngakoko, Quentin Jefferson, Solomon Thomas, and Darius Philbin. I think Cleveland Farrell should be better. I think their defense can be upgraded, but I don't think they're good enough. They're an average team, 500 team. I'm not the biggest John Gruden fan. I liked him in the 90s. I think the game's passed him by.
Yeah, like you said, I like Gruden in the 90s. I liked him in the booth. I don't like this reincarnated version of John Gruden. As you said, I think I think the game's passed him by. Or I don't know if the game's passed, but he's stuck in how he thinks the game should play, and he just doesn't change. I mean, you look at Saban down in Alabama. His thing was always play defense and run the ball. And then that started not working as well. And now he just throws the ball all over. He brings in guys to change the offense. And now he just throws the ball all over the field now. It's just, he's changed. Gruden just seems to be stuck in the 90s style football. Yeah, basically, like you said, Carr, yeah, either I could take him or leave him. It's just what he is. They do have some offensive guys that can play. They went out and drafted Joey Leatherwood out of Alabama to hopefully help him on that offensive line. And basically you covered everything I had on the defense. Yeah, they stunk, shutting people down. They couldn't stop anybody, and they couldn't turn the ball over. So, that's just a recipe for, as you said, losing close games at the end. Yeah, I don't have really much faith in this team. I think if they get 8 wins, good for them.
Yeah.
But at least they got a nice new stadium, and they're playing in Vegas, so they got that going for them.
Yeah, that is a treat.
Yeah, there you go. I guess living and playing in Vegas for 16 or 9 weeks out of the years can make up for losing. But all right, mate. So I think we both agree this is Kansas City's division to lose, and if they do lose it, it'll be the Chargers. But I think the only way Kansas City loses it is if some injuries to their key players. But yeah, other than that, that'd be a crapshoot for third and fourth, and doesn't really matter.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. I think Kansas City's the only playoff team in this division.
Yep, I agree there. All right, well, that I hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown of the NFL over the last couple of weeks, and we'll be back starting next week. I know I think you're going to be involved in a prop show with Bowser, so check that out next week. These guys are good at their player prop bets, so I don't know yet. We'll put a schedule out there when we figure it out for sure, but that'd be sometime next week. We're starting the NFL Pick'em show next week also, maybe wrap it around the prop show. And then in about 15 minutes, I'm joined by Legion of Picks and Rossman, and they're going to give you 3 picks each on tonight's or this weekend's college football. So stick around or come back for that, or check it out tomorrow in the Discord. And Sunday, race day.
Yeah, we're in Darlington for the first playoff race, so should be a fun one.
All right, so yep, we'll have a NASCAR report coming up on Sunday, and then you sweep the board last week.
Yeah, we had a good week.
Bryce swept the board last week with his picks, so you need to tune in Sunday and get his picks for the upcoming NASCAR race.
Yeah, I'm confident about this race too, so should be a good week. Yeah.
All right, so that'll do it for us here on the Insider's Room in our divisional breakdown show. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and check back in the Discord for a lot of other picks from other different people, and check out next week's shows. So, Rye, as you always say,
let's cash some tickets.
Let's cash some tickets. All right, good night, everybody. Thanks a lot.